Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and we are here at the greatest racetrack in the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, to qualify for one of the best races in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series all year round. It's the Raised Dies and Tubing 400 tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This a crown jewel event in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and it means quite a bit to win this race, and since the championship has already been clinched, once again, congratulations to Nathan Baird, your 2019 Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion. The focus is on the race victory, so this is going to act so much like a special event, and that actually makes it really cool to watch because they're going to go all out. They don't have to worry about the championship. You know, there is one championship we will actually focus on just a little bit here. It's all about the race victory. It's not about the points racing whatsoever, which means we're going to focus on who gets that race victory, and it's going to mean quite a bit to get a win at this historic racetrack, and I think it puts a load off on a lot of guys knowing they don't have to worry about the championship at this point. Of course, some guys like John Arndt, Wyatt Quayle, Mark Davidson, they're probably a little disappointed that they never really got that chance to get on Nathan Baird in the championship, but they can show that they are still worthy of a championship. Even though they didn't necessarily earn it this season by winning this race. And this is a huge race to win. John Arndt actually won 2 races here at Indianapolis back in May. He won the Freedom 50 and he also won the IROC Finale. So watch out for John Arndt in tomorrow's race. But for now, as we're leading into later today and the finale in the Rockstar Pro Series where we do have a championship battle, we're going to go ahead and qualify for the Raised Dies and Tubing 400. This is Uncharted qualifying right here, and Colton Yo is the first driver out on the racetrack in the number 98. And his first lap will clock in at a 48.72. This is a relatively fast racetrack, especially for these guys, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the speeds end up being. 48.564 for Zachary DeLello. He is now the fastest guy. Angel Olvera just went to the top of the board in the number 46. Of course, yesterday we had the Hers Elimination Series race. Only 12 laps in that one, but that was a thrilling event, and they used the same physics package as these guys do, even though their cars are much different. They race very similarly to these guys, which means the racing we saw in that race yesterday for the Hers Elimination Series, you saw that right here on the NOFSRL channel, it's going to be very similar to the way the racing is going to be tomorrow morning. And I'm really looking forward to this race. It's one of my favorite races of the season to do, Indianapolis. And while in real life this place absolutely sucks, for stock cars at least, not an Indy car, obviously. It is definitely one of my favorite races in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I like the way they race here on NR 2003, and it is going to be a great event tomorrow as we lead into the finale race coming up next weekend from Homestead. So it's nice, you know, we end with 2 very big races. You know, winning the Raised Dies and Tubing 400, winning the Chick-fil-A 500, those are pretty big deals to win those events regardless if you're in the championship hunt or not. And now that the championship's already been clinched, you know, these guys are going to be focusing on getting those race victories. So it's going to mean quite a bit. You know, the Chick-fil-A Cup Series won't be back again until February. These guys want to end the season on a high note, getting a race victory. And there are some guys out there, guys like Jesse Turner, Matt Delio, Garrett Sonor, who would love to get a race victory before the season closes out. Of course, Seth Cole's won 3 races already, won the Southern 500 last week. Great win for him right there, and we'll have to see if he gets his 4th win here in Indianapolis. Be his 4th career Napa Fan win, all 4 of them coming in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series if he were to win tomorrow, but all 3 of his career wins up to this point have been in this series this season. Colton Yo, Angel Olvera, the 2 fastest. We'll see if Christian Russell clocks in at a fast time. He goes to 2nd. He's currently in the show, drafting off of Daniel Voiles at the moment. Great job by Christian Russell at this point. Very good draft off of the number 31, and that's how you get a fast time here at Indianapolis. It is technically a super speedway, even though we still have to slow it down through the corners. It is 2.5 miles long, classifying it as an official super speedway. But Talladega, Daytona, Armory, Digital, those places are technically classified as restrictor plate tracks. Slightly different. They're still super speedways. Number 10, Julio Cesar. And he's got a draft of a Colton Yo, and these 2 guys are really going to be going fast, but I would expect Christian Russell getting the pull here on Daniel Voiles this past lap to get a pretty fast one At the stripe, Russell goes to... He improves his time. He stays third. Not enough to advance on for Christian Russell. And this is one of those races you definitely want to be part of. I think both of these guys right here you see on your screen, they're going to both be part of it. Colton Yo and Julio Cesar. And Julio Cesar drives for Zidell Motorsports. We're going to give you guys the Owners' Championship points here. You got Titan Fury at 278 points. They've been the leader in the Owners' Championship for quite some time. But Justin Zidell's team, Zidell Motorsports, is only 7 points behind coming into this race. Now, for reference, you get 17 points if your driver wins the race. And it's the highest finishing driver for each team in every race that represents the team in the Owners' points. So, say Justin Zidell, his driver Nicholas Samidio wins tomorrow, and then you have Trey Bartow finishing second. That means that Zidell Motorsports would gain 17 points, and Titan Fury would gain 15 points. Get an extra point for the race win. So there's that gap between first and second, but starting from second place on down, it's 1 point for every position, and it's just the highest finishing driver that team has that represents the team in the owner's points. But Zidell Motorsports is going to have a bit of a benefit here. They're going to have an extra driver in the race, only being 7 points behind, so watch out for them. They could have a shot at possibly taking the Owners' Championship lead heading into the finale race. We're going to really focus on this championship. It's going to be fun. It's going to be pretty close here. And Titan Fury, who won the Owners' Championship last year, looking to go back-to-back with their drivers Sebastian Kukulon, Trey Bartow, Nick Smith, who's their uncharted driver, and, of course, Brad Stover. Colton Yo, Julio Cesar advance on. They will be racing tomorrow in the Raised Dies and Tubing 400. They will also be qualifying for the pole position right now here from Indianapolis. And here we go. We're going to set the starting lineup for the Raised Dies and Tubing 400 here from Indy. And like I mentioned, we've already crowned the champion. So with that, these guys are simply going for the race victory here today. Going to be a 32-lap event tomorrow here from Indianapolis. And we're going to have ourselves the usual field of 42 take the green flag here at the Brickyard. Of course, since the championship has already been clinched, focus is going to mainly be on the race tomorrow, but we also have the Owners' Championship, and I mentioned the top two in Owners' points. Titan Fury with the lead, 278 points towards the championship. Justin Zidell's team, Zidell Motorsport, is 7 points behind. Wade Enterprises, 11 points behind. Hamill Racing Enterprises is 27 points behind. American Motorsports 29 points behind, and Full Frontal Motorsports 32 points behind. Those are the only teams who have a mathematical chance at winning the championship. Those bottom three are essentially out, and the fight is between Titan Fury, Zidell, and Wade. And with that, like I mentioned, the winning team gets 17 points towards the Owners' Championship, and the highest driver of the next team in line will get 15 points, and then so on, 1 point for every position. We have 16 teams who compete in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and it is the highest finishing driver for each team that represents them in the Owners' Championship. It's not an average of all the drivers. It is simply the highest finishing driver for that team. So whoever wins tomorrow, that team that they drive for will get 17 owner points. So that's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out in that right. Wyatt Quayle going to be the first driver to complete a lap here in Raised Dies and Tubing 400 qualifying. And I really love the way these guys race around this track. I mentioned it in Uncharted qualifying. I love the racing we get here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Some of the best racing. One of my favorite races of the year. This is a crown jewel event. To win in Indianapolis is a huge deal for these guys. And, you know they're going to be going all out for it here. Even considering, especially considering, that there is no championship fight. And these guys coming across the line here, clocking their times in. Josh Marzak, who almost won his first non-super speedway race last week. Of course, he's a 3-time winner in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Those are the only 3 wins he has on NapaFan. The same actually applies for last week's winner, Seth Cole, who's won all 3 of his NapaFan races here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series this season. Matt Dalio, now the fastest guy in town. We'll have to see where he is on the racetrack. It's been a very tough season for Dalio There are rumors that he might not return for season number 9. This is simply rumors. We have not seen him around too much as of late, so you know, it's up in the air on whether he's going to even return not only to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but even to Otter Island Motorsports for that matter, because there are talks the new rules are going to be coming in place for season number 9 on the owner's side, and it's sounding a lot like these teams will not be able to have 3 cars, and with that in line, somebody's got to get pushed out of every single 3-car team, and it is possible it could end up being Dallio for that team. Of course, that's next season. Still got a while from now. McMillan's a guy who's kind of come up on this team and surprised a lot of people. Got a couple, well, actually, he got 1 win on the team last year. But the team itself, Otter Island Motorsports, and I'm speaking as the owner of this team right here, has not done too well at all. With Turner, Dallio, and McMillan, of course, they're 3 really solid drivers. They just simply have not had the best of luck this season at all. We'll have to see how it all goes down. But we're looking forward to Jesse Turner racing in the Turkey Hill Truck Series this season. Going to be driving for Jason Holman's team in that number 79 A10 Warhog truck. We're really looking forward to seeing what he does right there. Of course, family part of the Air Force. And next week, when we get the Turkey Hill Truck Series started, going to be piloting that number 75 for Fight Hard Motorsports at Daytona. Looking for his first ever Truck Series win. We'll have to see if Turner can do that. I have a very good feeling he's going to be able to. And Matt Dallio back to the top of the board. And this is one guy, and regardless of the fact that he's on my team or not, I really like to see him get a win. Of course, we did see Sam Adillo get a race victory a couple weeks ago. Great to see that. We saw Barto win. And, you know, for guys like Dallio and Sonora especially, I don't know if they're going to return. Both of those drivers have been in this series since the beginning. And it's been a very long time since either of them have won. And, you know, Dallio and Sonora, 2 guys I would love to see maybe even win these final 2 races of the season, you know, just for the heck of it. We'll just have to see. Of course, you know, the ratings are completely equal for everybody else. And the joy of everyone winning is that, you know, you had the same chance as everybody else. Not like you had your ratings, you know, moved up and you had an advantage over everybody. You earned it. And that's what I really like about it. And we'll have to see if Dallio can earn a pole here in Indianapolis. Looking pretty strong right now on that number 79 for Otter Island Motorsports. Colton Yo is second fastest. Great run for him. And then you have Mark Davidson, Emily Anderson, and Josh Marzak, the top 5. Julius Anderson, Matthew Phillips, John Andrews, Wyatt Quayle, and Mitchell Henderson, the top 10. And we really won't be focusing on the championship. Of course, Nathan Baird already your champion for season number 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So these final 2 races, almost exhibition races, if you want to count it that way. But these guys wanting to end their seasons off on a high note. And right now, Matt Dallio doing a good job here in qualifying. Most likely at this point, lead the field of the green flag. This is one of those places where tire wear does come into play. We're expecting a one-stop race tomorrow. So not entirely sure how that's all going to go down, but we do know it's going to be a fun race regardless. We always get great racing here in Indianapolis, and going to be fun to see who takes the checkered flag and kiss the bricks here in the Raised Eyes and Tubing 400. Who knows, it could be Marzak in that 34. He was very sporty last week at Darlington. Almost got to the inside of Seth Cole to take the win in that race. Could not get to him in time. If he had one more lap, I think he would have had a shot, but just couldn't pull that off. And Nathan Baird, you see, our champion, starting 22nd at least at this point. Of course, we don't 100% know if that's where he will officially start. Qualifying session is still going on, so he's provisionally in the 22nd position, but the provisional poll right now to Matt Dallio. Let's talk about some guys who will be in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. At least I know at this point, because I'm doing this the Wednesday night of the reserve sign-ups. Of course, I know you guys have already seen and signed up. We thank you, everyone, I should say, for signing up here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. We're definitely looking forward to seeing all you guys compete this season. And, some guys we're going to mention here, Zachary Fitzwater, going to be driving for this very team in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Going to be on Marty's team once again, Beast Racing. Looking forward to seeing that. Some other guys who are going to be in that truck series, at least at the time of me recording this, guys who I know are confirmed. Alexander Rowe going to be driving for King Racing in the number 19. That's going to be an interesting pairing right there. King Racing completely new. Of course, a lot of these teams are completely new. but the owner is completely new as well to Napa-Fin. A lot of these other owners have been involved in Napa-Fin one way or another. Alexander O joining a completely new owner and a new team, so that's going to be very interesting. Of course, you know, King Racing is going to have a bit of an upper hand. They have a veteran driver behind the wheel of their race truck, so I would definitely expect them to do some pretty good things at Alexander O. Of course, you mentioned Jesse Turner going to be for Fight Hard Motorsports in number 75. And Emily Anderson also going to be racing for Evolution Motorsports, number 37, Xbox truck for Ethan Harris's team. That is going to be another interesting one because that's another new owner, but another veteran driver. At least, you know, while Emily Anderson might be a rookie here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, it's going to be her third, I should say, full-time season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. She is a veteran over there in the trucks. I don't know if she's ever won in the trucks before, but you know she's really good, and watch out for her in the Turkey Hill Truck Series Championship. Ace Garcia going to be driving for SL Racing, number 55 truck. Going to be piloting that one, and like I mentioned, the time of me recording this is Wednesday night at 9:16 Eastern Standard, or Eastern Daylight, I should say. So, and Trey Barto also going to be in the number 1 for Natring Racing, and that is a returning team, getting an experienced driver. Of course, Trey Barto was not in the trucks last year, as he was in the ARCA Series when it ran, but great to see Barto back in the truck series. His places are Rockingham and Darlington. He's actually won at those places a total of 3 times. He won at Rockingham back-to-back years, and also won Darlington right after one of those Rockingham races in one of those seasons. So Barto really good in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Looking forward to see him get some things done over there. But of course, John Art going to be driving the 05 for his own team, as he is the defending champion of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. So watch out for John Art as well this coming season, this fall. And also Nicholas Samadeo driving. He's going to be in the number 7 for Gardner Motorsports. He, I believe, is the only Truck Series driver who has driven in every single season of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. So you know he is going to be hard to beat. He's actually the last race winner of the Turkey Hill Truck Series, won the finale race at Homestead last year. In the number 88, which he was always a Thor Sport driver when that team existed. Of course, now that we're fully the custom teams, going to be moving over to Gardner Motorsports and the number 7. Matt Dallio in the number 79 will be starting on the pole position for tomorrow's Chick-fil-A Cup Series event here from Indianapolis in the Raised Dies and Tubing 400. A very solid lap time for Matt Dallio, and he is going to have a very good chance at winning this race. Has not won since Season 6 at Rockingham, North Carolina. That was over 2 years ago. And not only that, that was the last time he ever won on Napa-Fan as well. It's been a very long time since this guy has won. And like we said, the future of Matt Dallio a little bit up in the air at this point. At the time of me recording this, he has not taken a truck yet in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, so we really don't know where he's going to end up. But he may end up in victory lane tomorrow for the Raised Dies and Tubing 400. There's how they'll line up for the 32-lap race tomorrow. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. One tie between Nathan Baird and an unsure driver, Julio Caesar. Obviously, we don't need to break that because Nathan Baird has already clinched the championship, and of course, Julio Caesar has not been in every single race. Also, John Vinskamnicki and Nathan Stapleton. I think Stapleton's going to have that, so we'll switch that off. But other than that, that is how they will line up for tomorrow's 32-lap event. The Raised Dies and Tubing 400. Matt Dallio is going to lead the field of the green flag here at Indy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Matt Dallio on the pole position. And later today at, I think it's 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I really don't know. I really don't care. It's going to be the finale race in the Rockstar Pro Series, the Indy 100K. Going to be a great race to determine a championship. We got 2 guys battling for it, Patrick Zeich and Justin Knight. Who's going to win the Rockstar Pro Series Championship? You're going to find that out on Napa-Fan at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Matt Dallio, and I will see you guys later.